Hola. Hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Yeah, I'm a little late. Sorry. Technical issues. I have a ring light that apparently I am just trying to kill. Because 2 weeks in a row, I have literally knocked it over as I was trying to move it to set up the stream. So I had to, upright it and fix it and readjust its settings. So, yes, I'm late. So I'm just going to sit here and wait for people to show up, stream in. Hopefully, YouTube will actually send out my live reminder. Sometimes it do, sometimes it don't. It just depends. But while I'm waiting, let me make sure I've got all my things set up that I need. There's that. That's working. So I can mute myself now. Do, 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 do. Hi, Kathleen. Yeah, I figured it was sending them out kind of late. But no. That's YouTube for you. YouTube does things in their own time when they feel like it. So how are you doing, Kathleen? What's new? What are you working on? Drinking anything good? Working on anything good? What you got going on? No, pretty good. Just been keeping busy. This is kind of a rough part of the year for me because I have a lot of like anniversary of people dying. It's kind of weird. Like case in point, actually today is the fifth anniversary of my estranged husband's death. But I just have like a whole bunch of them, like from August until, ironically enough, the last. Well, there's one in December, but I normally I mark the end of the torture with my dad's death, which is the last day of November. So, but anyway, from the middle of August until the last day of November, it's I have to work really hard to like keep my energy and my enthusiasm up because it's kind of rough. So, but yeah, other than that, I'm great. Been keeping busy working on a lot of projects. Got stuff I'm trying to get done. Working on socks and a shawl. You have a earring design. Cool. I think a pair of earrings is the first thing I'm going to work on when I delve into my micro crocheting. Yep, just peachy. Yeah. Absolutely awesome. I have no idea how many people are in here because my view count just is all over the place. So I'm still trying to wait a few more minutes for more people to stream in here before I get started. So, how is your daughter with the 8 kids down by you now, or is she someplace else still? Because didn't you just do a craft show with her a couple days ago, last week or something? I seem to remember. Well, I have one count that's showing two, another count that's showing four, and then it goes to five, then it goes back down to two, then it goes. So I'm not totally sure who's in here. but that's okay. I'll give it like a minute, one more minute or so. Since a lot of people are in other chats as well, so. Okay, she's someplace else. It was some of the stuff she left. She's safe now, and we know where she is, so it's cool. That's good. I'm glad. I'm glad you know where she is. I'm glad she's safe. I'm glad she's starting over again. I'm being inundated by gnats. Anybody else having like a rough gnat season? It's like no matter what I do, they're just everywhere, and I can't get rid of them. It's driving me crazy. And we can't figure out what the source is. And it's just keep appearing, like out, literally almost out of thin air. It's bizarre. I wonder if my Facebook notification went out. Oh yeah, don't yawn. That's the truth. Okay. Let's get started. Let's see. What have let's see, what did I leave off last week? I don't have any whips that I can show you right now because, well, one's one is barely started, so it doesn't really count. And the other one's a secret, and I don't want to show you anything until I've actually accomplished a bit of it. So I don't have any whips. I don't have any other finished objects other than I did make another little pumpkin guy. So there he is. Ha! He doesn't have a mouth yet. I need to work on my embroidery for amigurumi faces because I kind of I kind of suck at it. So I need to watch a few more tutorials and then figure out how to make a face for this little guy or mouth for this little guy. But yeah, so that's my finished object for the week, I guess. Um, Hi Stella, welcome, welcome, welcome. I do still plan to make a couple of more. Like I want to put like a little witch hat and a ghost. I'm thinking about making a Frankenstein candy corn, which I'm not sure whether I'm gonna keep it the traditional candy corn colors and give it the Frankenstein scars, or make the candy corn green and purple, which is where I'm kind of leaning towards. But anyway, I'll probably have something like that to show you next week, so you'll know then what I decided to do. uh, I also, oh shoot, I actually meant to take a picture of it. Hang on. If you guys follow me, if you follow me on my personal page, Facebook page, you've seen this. If not, then you wouldn't have seen it. So let me grab it real quick, and I will share my screen and show it to you as soon as Facebook stops being stupid and loads. It's taking its time now. Hey, Acela, how are you? How are you doing? What are you working on? What are you sipping on? How's your day been? Fill us in. That's not the screen I wanted. Sorry, Facebook's being a pain. Doo-doo. Okay. Sorry. Sorry. Nothing wants to load. I hope this is not a clue as to how much fun I'm going to have when I get to the other portion of my chat. Okay, here we go. Over here. Present. Share screen. That is the diamond art painting I finished for my daughter. And for those that don't know, it's Alice in Wonderland. It's the caterpillar smoking the hookah. That was like one of her favorite scenes from the movie when she was a kid. And in her home office, she's doing different shows for different Disney characters or Disney movies, and she has an Alice in Wonderland shelf. And so I made this to go on her shelf with her other Alice in Wonderland stuff. She's got like miniature Alice, a miniature caterpillar, miniature other characters. She's got a teapot, um, a cookie jar, all kinds of different Alice stuff. But I made this to go with that. Don't tell her, but there's another diamond art painting I have that's also Alice in Wonderland themed that I'm probably going to make and give it to her for Christmas. She doesn't know that yet, so don't tell her. So that's the diamond art painting that I finished. So I was busy with that, and now I'm working on. I don't know if I can reach it or not. I might be able to reach it. You probably got a really interesting view. Sorry. I'm working on this Nightmare Before Christmas diamond art. I've got this panel. I guess I can take the camera off. The first two panels are done. I just have this last panel to finish. And this will be ready for our Halloween and Christmas decorations. Because in this house, we do a Nightmare Before Christmas all year. Well, for holiday and Christmas. For Halloween and Christmas. So. And so, yeah. So, between those and my little secret project that I can't tell you guys about yet, and the little the little Halloween figures, that's what I've been working on. So, hi, VJ. Welcome. How are you? I talked to you earlier, but how are you? What are you working on? Are you sipping anything good? Share with the class. But that's what I have been working on. And what the stuff that I'm planning on working on next is okay. So, would you rather me talk about the pricing idea that I discovered, and then we go through the yarn, or go through the yarn and then talk about the pricing idea? Which do you want to talk about first? Woo! VJ's almost done with that sleeve. Awesome. How do you feel about working with that yarn? Unless you don't know, VJ had bought some yarn from me last year, and it's a sultan from Hobby, and it's one of those that's like four individual strands that aren't they're not twisted. They're basically just next to each other, and it can be kind of tricky to crochet with. But me personally, once I got the hang of crocheting with it, I absolutely loves how it looks when it's on a hook. It's just such a neat look to it. How the four strands kind of sit together and kind of like move together off the hook. It's very fascinating to me. It's rhythmic. It's almost hypnotic. So I really enjoy crocheting with it. So, Vijay, what's your experience crocheting with it like? What do you think? It's really the only like I think it's a two, maybe a three, a thin three, but it's the only yarn that thin that I work with. But I really like it. Yeah, it's different because it's like thread and not yarn, but it does have a neat look. Yeah, it's very cool. I mean, it's like literally four strands of cotton yarn sitting next to each other, and it's just very cool when it's on the hook. And if you have like a nice metal hook, it glides right off. It's a very for me, it's a very enjoyable crocheting experience. So, but okay, so let's do the pricing thing. Let's get the pricing out of the way, and then we can like talk about yarn. So I was in my crochet groups as usual, and as usual, the what should I charge question came up on various things, and you always have those people that are like three times the cost of materials, and you know how much I love that answer. But so I'm ignoring those answers, and I'm seeing a lot of people that are saying like do the cost of materials and your time, and some people are doing cost of materials, time, and a markup, and so the debate's going back and forth. And I'm scrolling through looking at the answers, and then one pops up, and I'm like, huh? And that's the one I want to talk to you about because, quite frankly, I think it's the one that I'm going to start using from now on. Yeah, the effect of that yarn is really nice. And although it's a two, it works up a lot thicker than a two. Yeah, it works up to like a fat three, almost a thin four. It's very interesting how it's very interesting yarn, if you want to call. I mean, and like we said, it's cotton thread, so it's not really yarn, and yet it is. It's very strange, but I really like working with it, which is probably why, even though I sold like five or six cakes of it, I still have. Oh man, one, two, three, four, five. I can see six, and I know I have more than that, but I really like working with it. Anyway, so there was this third method of pricing that came up that really caught my eye. So let me pull up. I made a chart. I made a chart for this. So let me share my screen again. So I can find the file and it won't be a jerk. You're going to be a jerk, aren't you? I'll pull this up. Oh, come on. All right, hang on. I gotta rearrange some things real quick. Computer screen. Right here. The desktop. Do, do, do. Yeah, VJ, you know what we were talking about earlier? Yeah, all my tabs are disappearing again. That's not annoying at all. Oh, where'd you go? Not annoying at all. Nope. Share it. Share my window. Yes. Share it. Okay, I'm probably not gonna be able to see myself on here and share this with you. So we're just going to like talk about it, and then I'll answer your questions after I'm done going through this. Okay, so we all know. I set up a scenario here. We've got an Afghan that's going to be 52 inches by 60 inches, or 4.25 feet by 5 feet. We're going to use 4 weight yarn. I'm a personal fan of Big Twist from Joann's, so that's what I went with here. And it's $4.49 per skein. Now, yes, you can get it on sale, but FYI, if you are pricing for a project, do not price on the sales price. Even if you get the yarn on sale, do not use the sale price. Use the retail price, because there's no guarantee that when it's time for you to restock that yarn, you're going to be able to get it for the same sales price, and you don't want to lose money on the deal. So, 449 a skein. We need 9 skeins, and we have a total yardage of 3,088. Okay, yards. Now, here are the pricing methods that we're used to seeing. Cost of materials times 3. Please don't use this, but I'm doing the math for it because everybody seems to want to suggest it. So if you've got 9 skeins and they're $4.49 per skein, that's $40.41 in materials. Multiply that by 3, that gets you $121.23. Nowhere near what a 4.25 foot by 5 foot Afghan should get you, but we're just gonna go with it. That's how much it would be with the cost of materials times 3. Now, if you go cost of materials plus labor times a 1.3 markup, which is what I generally use, then you're looking at um, $15 worth of labor, because this is just basically a double crochet. It's a very simple Afghan. We're not getting into like a whole lot of fancy stitches or a fancy pattern. We're just doing like a plain old, okay, maybe it's chevrons, but just pretty much just a straight up double crochet Afghan. Okay, throw. And let's say you're going to charge $8 per hour, because the federal minimum wage is somewhere around there. I forget what it is, but $8 an hour, so you're at least making minimum wage, or close to it. And then there's the formula for it. You're going to take what we already said was $40.41, because we're going to use that same yarn, and then we're going to add that to our labor cost and multiply that by 1.3, and that comes out to 208.53. Or if you just can't bring yourself to do the markup, it's 160.41. Still better than the 121.23 of just cost materials times 3, and more in line with you're at least paying yourself for your labor. Now, the third one, and the one that got my attention that I'd never heard of, was 1 cent per inch, or per stitch. And I was like, a penny a stitch? I was like, how does that even seem feasible? So I do the math. And with the Afghan that we're making, we're looking at 208 stitches wide and 120 stitches long. And it's 120 stitches because when we're making double crochet, a double crochet is obviously double a single crochet. So when you're putting two of those together, and there's two of them in an inch, it's 120 stitches. That math might be a little bit off, but we're going to run with it for now. So when you multiply those together, that gets you 24,960 stitches. And you multiply that by a penny per stitch, and you come out with a cost of $249.60. Now, that seems high for a throw. So I might throw in like a friend or family discount to that maybe to maybe knock it down a little bit. But to be fair, that is probably the best representation of your materials and your time. Because instead of you having to like watch the clock for how long it's taking you to do it, it's just the stitches. However long it takes, you're not getting paid for the hour worth of time. You're getting paid for the stitch time. And that makes more sense to me. So if so say it just makes more sense. I could try to explain it more, but um if you're like the only downside to it is I guess if you're a faster crocheter, then you might be overcharging. But if you're an average crocheter, that's probably more correct. But I also understand there are going to be people out there screaming that there's no way they're going to be able to get $250 for a throw. And I can see that. But if you go on to Etsy or Mercari or Ravelry and you see what people are charging, not Ravelry, shoot, I forget the other place I was talking. Anyway, if you go onto the sites where people are selling these throws, you will see that they are getting $250 for throws. You might not be able to get that in your local market, but there is a market for people out there that will pay $250 for a throw. So I think the 1 cent per stitch is the most um it's the truest pricing model, but it might also be the hardest one to sell people on. But I'm actually kind of liking it either way. So, okay, I'm going to stop sharing now and see what you guys are saying because I haven't been able to see my screen this whole time. Okay, so, hi, Joy. So, what do you guys think? Do we have an opinion either way? I talked all that time and nobody said anything, really? How you doing, Joy? What's new? What are you working on? Okay, the noise you just heard is my dog. Hi, Pop. Hi, Poppy. Okay, don't knock... Poppy? Poppy! What if you're making something small like a beanie? Um, you'd have to do the stitch count and see if which one works better for you. That's what I'm saying. This might not the 1 cent per stitch may not work for all projects because, like, say if you have a project that's only 100 stitches, then well, what would you be making a bill to be 100 stitches? I know you have to do the stitch count. I don't know how many stitches are in a beanie. Uh, let's see, what 8, 16. It's probably what 600 stitches in the beanie, give or take. So if you had 600 stitches, yeah. See, that's a case where it may not work out for you because if it's 600 stitches and you're doing a penny a stitch, that's only $6, and who's going to sell a beanie for $6? So there are cases where it's not going to work. But if you're looking at a bigger project, I can see how the 1 cent per stitch will work out better than like one of the other two methods. I'm feeling it, but not sure how it translates to knitting. My pricing is based on the easiest patterns because I cannot see very well now. I don't know how it would go for knitting. I don't because I don't knit enough to like even know how to price that. Hi, Catherine. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You get 25 for short socks, 30 for ankle, and 35 for mid calf. It's pretty good. Yeah, I mean the downside definitely to the 1 cent per stitch is you would need to be able to count the stitches. And quite frankly, unless you had probably I'd say over 1,000 stitches or more, that method isn't really going to be worth it for you. And even at 1,000 stitches, you know, I don't know. It's definitely for larger projects, I'd say. Like if you're making Afghans or a large rug or a larger shawl, it probably makes more sense as a pricing model. Anything else, I would probably stick with the cost of materials plus my labor times 1.3 or cost of labor plus my materials. I just thought it was a very interesting, neat pricing strategy that I'd never heard of. So I have to hold myself up with my arms right now, so no crochet for about a week. Huh? What's going on, Joy? Hi, Daphne. Welcome, welcome, welcome. How are you this evening? Let us know what you're working on. If you have any news, feel free to share it. And what all projects or crafts do you do, Daphne? Oh, you're welcome, BJ. I saw it and I was like, huh, that's very interesting. But yeah, definitely, I think it's something that was probably best for larger projects. Anything else, go with the um, materials plus labor plus markup. But never, ever, 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 please, please, for the love of everything, stop using 3 times the cost of materials. That drives me crazy. Absolutely nuts. Because it doesn't take into account your labor at all, and your labor matters. Your labor is important. You got to account for some labor. Let's see. Daphne says, I am doing it. I'm currently working on a sleeve for the Briar Pocket cardigan. And you started what? Oh man, sciatica cannot walk or stand long or sit up without leaning. Not in my butt that goes down the leg. Oh, I hate that. Oh, when I was pregnant with my daughter, she somehow wedged herself against my sciatic nerve, and I couldn't get out of bed for like 3 days. And the only thing my obstetrician would tell me was just keep poking her until she finally moves. So I poked at her and poked at her and poked at her and poked at her, and finally, after like the third day, she finally moved a little bit more, and she got off the nerve. But that was the worst 3 days of my life. Oh my goodness, that pain was just ugh. But I hope you feel better, Joy. 'Cause again, that is no fun at all. Well, yes, Joy. Others, there's always going to be somebody that is worse off than you, but that does not make your pain any less valid. So, you know, I hope your pain ends soon and you get some relief. Okay, so that was the pricing thing I wanted to talk about. Now we can get started talking about our favorite subject, yarn. Okay, so I have 3 or 4 projects in mind. One you already know about because I've talked about it before. It's a sweater I want to make, and I decided that I think I told you guys last week that I decided to frog the purple the purple multicolored and black sweater I was making. I frogged it because I didn't like how it was sitting, and I'm going to make a raglan top down sweater with it instead. So I have those colors set. I'm going to use those same three: the black, the multicolored purple, and the grape, and do that sweater. But I have other projects that I'm going to work on, and I've got a bunch of yarn, and I'm trying to decide what colors to use. Now, this is the one that's the hardest for me. It has to be something that has 4 colors that are complementary. I can't tell you why because I don't want to give it away, but the colors have to be complementary. I'm leaning down because I've literally got a crate of yarn down here. So I was thinking, I kind of, I'm almost one thinking holiday theme. So I was gonna go with. And these colors aren't really coming up true on my camera. But I gotta set these real quick. Get the other ones. Okay. What do we think of these 4 together? Now that's actually a like a forest green, and then there's a tan sitting on top of it, and then there's a cream here, and this is actually a deeper like brick red. They're not showing up very true on my screen, which is unfortunate because it makes it hard for you to tell me whether or not the colors work or not. But let me know if you like these 4. If you like these 4 together, I kind of do, and I've got 2 full skeins of each of these, so I have plenty for what I want to do. And it's kind of got holiday theme with the red and the green, and then the tan and the cream. So Joyce says they look good. So okay, my arms get tired. So I'm putting them down. So let me ask, let me know what you guys think of those 4 together. Yay, nay. Kathleen says she thinks the colors blend well. Daphne says she started it last year. She crochets and knits. From time to time, she loom knits, paints, makes jewelry. So you're like many of us who have 15 million different crafts that they do. Because I crochet, I am a novice knitter. I do diamond art painting. I work with resin. I make jewelry. I do wire work. Um, I quilt. I do a little bit of sewing. And I'm really, really starting to lean into mixing my mediums, especially when it comes to crochet, quilting, and sewing. I love mixing those three together, which is another project I'm working on. Daphne said, I've also just started teaching myself needle tatting. A few years ago, I purchased a shuttle for tatting, but haven't accomplished it successfully yet. Cool. I have never tried tatting. It looks neat. I recently attempted broomstick lace. I think what I'm using as the stick isn't thick enough, so I need to find a thicker stick, and I'm gonna try it again. I was kind of getting the hang of it, but all the tutorials I'm finding are for right-handed people, and I'm left-handed, and we obviously work in the opposite direction. So it's been kind of hard for me to like switch it in my head so that I'm doing it as a lefty, even though the instructions are right-handed for a right-handed person. And I haven't found a left-handed broomstick lace tutorial that wasn't just the right-handed one done mirrored. That doesn't work, people. For the most part, it does not work because it doesn't take into account that left-handed people don't crochet from the right to the left. They crochet from the left to the right. So, anyway, if I get the broomstick lace process down, I will be doing a tutorial for it. So maybe some other left-handed people who have struggled like I am will have something to look at. Don't know how to do the loop stitch. I think so. I think I did it for. Did you ever see the lamb that I made? The lamb blanket with the lamb head. I think that's the loop stitch. I had to do single loop and double loops. Oh, excuse me. So yeah, I think I know how to do the loop stitch. Why? Okay, so Catherine agrees. She thinks they go well for Christmas. All right, then those are the colors I'm going to use for that project. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I've got a weird thing going on in my throat. Definitely, there's nothing wrong being all over the place. I mean, there's so many different crowds out there. Whenever I discover one I've never seen before, I get all excited. It's like, wow, I've never seen that before. And then I go down a YouTube rabbit hole and I watch all the videos I possibly can find about it. And then sometimes I just look at it and go, this is awesome. I appreciate those that can do it, but I think I'm going to pass. Or I go further down a rabbit hole and buy everything I possibly need to do it and then try to learn it. It just depends on what it is. Joy says, I have a huge bucket list, just not enough time to fill the bucket. Ain't that the truth? Yeah, okay, VJ, yeah, I get that. It's just that when I go to do it, figuring out how to turn it so that I'm working in the right direction and all the loops and are going in the same direction, that's what's throwing me. and for some reason it's stirring me, and I can't figure out why it's stirring me because it really shouldn't. But I'll get the hang of it. Sometimes it takes me like multiple tries for things to click, and then I'm like, oh, duh, and I realize I did something really stupid. But yeah, I mean, I get the concept. It's just the execution of it is stirring me. So I probably just need to like just get out of my head and just do it. If that makes any sense. So, but I'll let you know. And again, I'll probably do I'll probably do a tutorial for it so that some other southpaws out there will have like an actual a true left-handed tutorial to look at. Okay, so that was project number one. Project number two, um, it's basically another sweater, but now I'm busting out my beloved Malabrigo. Y'all know how much I love this yarn. I'm trying to decide which of my sets would make the best sweater. This set is. Uh-oh. Hey. Don't get tangled. There we go. This is red, purple, and then a multicolor that includes both red and purple. Oh, this stuff is so soft. I love this stuff so much. Oh, that's one set. The other set is this gorgeous marble. This is just two colors. And this mustardy gold. I'm trying to decide which of these sets I'd prefer as a sweater. So this or these. I'm in merino wool heaven right now, just in case you're wondering. Oh, Kathleen, I make no excuses for my love of Malabrigo. Uh-uh. I love Malabrigo. I can never. I can. There's no such thing as too much Malabrigo. And yes, I am sitting here petting it. It's just so. Oh, it's wonderful. Noro. I've only touched Noro like once. I liked it, but the price kind of like scared me. I mean, Malabrigo. It's not cheap, but it's not quite Noro price either. I was like, oh man. So I could get buying enough Malabrigo to make a sweater for me because I'm a decent sized woman. But Noro, I don't know. I'd have to wait for a hell of a sale. uh, Joy, yeah, I have enough for a sweater with either one. See, here's the gold and the tan. Well, I mean the gold and the um, browns, and I've got one more of these in my thing somewhere, in a bin somewhere. And this is the red and the purple and the multicolor ones, and I have a third of this one of that one too. So I have plenty of both to make a sweater either way. And not to be left out, I also have just my Menace, yeah, Menace de Uruguay. I've got like four of these too, but I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. This I think I'm gonna make out. I'm gonna make a shawl. I don't quite like Menace de Uruguay as much as I like Malabrigo, but I'm not turning it down either because it's really soft and lovely as well. Mm. So, well, thank you, Catherine. She says they both would look great on me. For some reason, and I'm kind of shocked at this. I'm kind of leaning towards the browns and the brown and the orange and the golds. I don't know why, because generally I would go for the other colors because the reds and purples are like my go tos. But for some reason, just that gold and that marble just are calling to me. So if you guys are split down the middle, then I think I'm gonna go with the brown and the mustard. No, okay, you guys are leaning towards the brown and the mustard and the browns and the golds. All right, so yeah, I think I will go with that. Okay, so if I do that, then what should I make out of this? I started a shawl with this, and I think I showed it to you in my when we were doing the frog or finish, and I didn't like how it looked in the shawl I was making. But I think it's because I was using a way too complicated stitch for the yarn, and so there's still that's saying I still have another skein and a half of that. So I don't know. And maybe if I made a shawl that wasn't as complicated, it was like a straight stitch, like just a regular plain old generic triangle shawl that's just double crochet, that might work better. Or maybe if I use a more open stitch, I don't know. Make another sweater. I might. If I get this top down one done, I may make another sweater out of that other batch of Malabrigo because that just feels so good. It just feels so good on the skin that I think they're like, I think once I have one, I'm gonna want more than one. Poncho's not a bad idea. Yeah, a plain. I mean, I need to just stick to my mom's old advice that she gave me long ago. The more complicated the yarn, the simpler the stitch. The simpler the stitch, the plainer the yarn has to be. She drilled that in me, and you'd think I'd remember that when you have like a fancy yarn, you need a simple stitch. So yeah, so it'll probably be like a simpler stitch, like maybe a double crochet, maybe a fillet stitch, something like that. I might work on a couple of swatches and see what I come up with for it. But okay, well y'all been loads of help with that because I mean I've got like a million, so much yarn, and I really want to use it because it's a little ridiculous to have this much yarn and not make anything with it. I mean, I know there are collectors, and in a way, I am a collector because there are certain yarns I really love and I like having around me, like my Horizon yarns from Hobie, my Manarola from Hobie, my Butterfly from Hobie. Although I do use Butterfly, I use my butterfly a lot. Butterfly is what I made my love shrug out of, the very first one. So I do use butterfly. But Metallica, which I also use, but I just like having around because it's pretty. And of course, my Malabrigo, because it's just pretty and soft and gorgeous and everything that a yarn should be. Um, but it comes a point where you kind of just need to use it. So I'm trying to like use my yarn and come up with things to make that I actually will either wear or enjoy using or what have you. I've got a couple of rugs I need to make because this floor needs area rugs. Gnats are killing me. Um, so I've got some other yarn that I'm going to use for that. Um, but yeah, I've just decided that I have this yarn and I kind of need to use it. So I'm probably going to periodically come back to you with bunches of yarn and go, what should I make with this? So you can stay tuned for that. Yep, them's the old rules. Yep. Kathleen is saying I have a nice sweater collection of ice yarns, maybe enough for 5 or 6 sweaters tops. Now, see, ice yarns, Picasso gets me in trouble. I think I have so many of their different colorways. I love Picasso, which is very similar to Metallica, only way cheaper, even with shipping. I have a couple of other yarns from Ice Yarns, but Picasso's by far my favorite. I have not bought Happy Place yet. Um, the colors I want are sold out, and Tony was saying in a live that it will probably be the middle of next year before they get more in. So no, I don't have any. I've considered buying some of the more off colors that I like, but I'm not in love with, just to try it. But I know I haven't like bought any yet. Has anybody else bought any? Okay, I need to look at Drops Designs. They use many colors in their patterns. Kathleen says she'd like to, but doesn't have any money right now. Yeah, it's a little on the pricier side too. That's kind of the other part. But I mean, Hobie does so many sales. I figure eventually it's going to be on sale and I can grab it then. But yeah, it's a little on the pricier side. Plus, I don't know what kind of wool is in it. And with my wool sensitivities, I don't want to spend that kind of money on yarn that I'm not going to be able to use. So, I don't know. I want to try it, but I'm hesitating for, well, the reasons that I've given you. Okay, they have a lot of free patterns it drops. I don't know if y'all have noticed, but I don't like. I do other people's patterns, but for the most part, I wing it on my own because I'm weird like that. Um, but I do other people's patterns, like Virus Shawl, obviously, was somebody else's pattern. Um, I know a couple of Bag o' Day patterns. Um, I really can't think of anybody else's pattern I've actually done. But I mean, it's not that I'm against using other people's patterns. It's just like I've never been in the habit of doing it. But if there's a pattern I really really like, okay, that's a lie. My sweater pattern that I'm going to use for my top down is is it MJ Designs. What is her name? I think it's MJ Designs. I think it's one of her patterns. Let me look real quick. I don't want to get her name wrong. Where is it? Where's the pattern? I have it open here. Why can I not find it? Cotton. Oh, for the love of Pete. Tab's disappearing again, VJ. Get a little annoyed. I legit can't find the tab. Wow. I don't know where it is. Wait, is this it? No. We're gonna have to dig for it again. I'm gonna be mad I'm gonna have to go dig for this pattern again. Anyway, it's somebody else. I want to say it's MJ Designs. Yeah, that's it. Off the Hook Designs. Yes. PJ says you can use it for inspiration and make it your own. This is true. Oh man. Kathleen is saying, exactly, VJ. I have never bought or got a free pattern I did not change or fix somehow. Ain't that the truth? MJ Off the Hook Designs. Yes, that's who it is. VJ, I was saying that I had tabs that disappeared again. VJ, I usually make it like the pattern the first time to see what it looks like, and then I change it. Yeah, it's like I don't like this, or I like this, but I think I like it better if I change this to that, or what have you. I never really thought about it that way, but yeah, I guess you could do that. So, okay, so I'll go look over there and see if I can find some inspiration. Um, ugh. I know I hadn't had that problem either, and now suddenly it's like every time I go to share something, or I go to share something, I miss a tab, and then if I've shared something and I go back up, there's some other random tab that's missing at that point. I'm like, but it was right there. So I don't know what's going on, but oh, I guess you'll have that. I suppose. I don't know. But okay, guys. This tickle on my throat is not getting any better, and as you can hear, I'm getting congested. And we've been here for an hour and 3 minutes, so I guess that's probably my cue to say goodnight and go back to working on one of my several thousand projects I've got going on. So I appreciate y'all being here. You guys could have been anywhere, but you chose to spend this last hour with me, and I appreciate it more than you'll ever know. BJ, I swear to God, I am not trying to sound like your outro, but it's like we almost say the same thing. I'm sorry, but I appreciate y'all being here. um, it was fun as usual. Uh, I don't know when I'm gonna film another video. Hopefully, I have a tutorial I'm gonna work on here in a minute. I do have some stitches that I wanted to stitch tutorials for, so I might actually put some of those out. I'm really starting to lean more towards shorts on YouTube and on TikTok. So I don't know if it'll be a full fledged video or if they're going to be shorts. But if you're subscribed to me and you have the bell icon, you'll know when I put something out in whatever format it is. Um, and if this was your first time here, I don't think I had any newbies. Daphne, I think might have been new though. So Daphne, if you think you want to hang out with us more often, please hit the subscribe button, hit the bell icon so that you'll know when I go live, when I put out videos or shorts or what have you. And I will see y'all in the YouTube streets. And if I don't see you there, then I'll see you back here this time next week. Hopefully without any sort of technical difficulties of dropping my ring light yet again. Because I think if I drop that thing one more time, it's not going to come back on or go back together. So, uh, Catherine West. Hi everyone, sorry my kitten was in the way. Bye everyone. Thank you, Kim. Can't wait to see your sweater when you get started. All right, I will. I'll show you guys my progress once I get some progress going. So with that, I'm going to get out of here and get started on, or probably finish this diamond art painting because I just want to get it done because I've got like 4 or 5 others that I still also need to work on. So I'm going to get it done so I can have it out for the holidays and go on to the next one. And then I'm probably going to like start my math on my sweaters and the other things I'm going to make. Plus, I still have that secret project I'm working on. So I'm going to work on something in that realm and get some tea because my throat is really starting to really bug me. And I will chat with y'all later. Thanks for being here. Feel better, Joy. Everybody else stay safe, stay healthy, do what you need to do to be healthy. I swear to God, VJ, I'm not trying to steal our show. And I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.